Well, hello and welcome, beautiful ones. This is Stacey Murphy, the queen of juicy love and feminine charm, and welcome to this edition of Juicy Love Expert Corner, where I share tips and insights of how to make your love and sex life a bit juicier. And today we'll conclude my series that I've been doing on the secret to understanding man, the essence of man, the yumminess of man, and it's taking you through my man magnet blueprint. This blueprint is a very, very, very simple formula that when you are able to understand the formula, incorporate the formula in your relationships, they will help to contribute to its joy and harmony, right? So that you can be in unison with each other versus fighting each other. Is understanding the planet of Mars so he can be in alignment with your Venus, all right? So here is the man magnet blueprint. And it's like I said, it's a simple formula. So here we go. It is a man. He desires to have mental stimulation, intellectual intrigue with a woman. When you combine this with the sex appeal and the sexual attraction, this makes a man feel good about himself when he's in your company. And when he feels good about himself when he's in your company, it quickly leads to the physical intimacy and emotional connection. So this is the pathway, the road to glory for men. Now, if you remember, we are on key number 4 today, which is that emotional connection. So we've come a long way in this journey to understanding men. And so before I get into the emotional connection and what that looks like, let me kind of recap very quickly what the Venus Code was. That was the secret to understanding women. It was the mental stimulation plus the emotional connection so you can feel safe with a man, leads to physical intimacy and sexual connection. So we have the whole formula and the road that we've traveled. And so now we are on door number 4 is what I call it. Sometimes I call it the final frontier for men, because many times women say, I want him to emotionally open up to me. It's very easy, or easier, I should say, for women to emotionally open up because emotions are driven by estrogen, which is the main hormone in women, right? And so we're very comfortable with doing that. Men have estrogen, but a much smaller degree than women. So it is the final frontier for them. And I do want to answer and address the issue of emotionally unavailable men. There's no way I can talk about emotional connection if I really didn't address emotionally unavailable men, because women ask all the time, why do I keep attracting emotionally unavailable men? Why are men just so unavailable when it comes to their emotions? It seems like you have to climb Mount Everest in order to really understand him emotionally and for him to emotionally open up. And there are a couple of reasons why that is. It could be his upbringing, it could be past situations with people, but I'm going to share one main reason today of why that is. With men, when they have been hurt, when their heart has been broken from a prior relationship, it is so much more, it takes them so much longer to emotionally open up again. And what happens is they close that part off because they're afraid. Their heart is very, very fragile. Many times I feel a man's heart is more fragile than a woman's heart is when it comes to opening up and being vulnerable in that way. And what happens is when a man has really had his heart broken, it just takes him longer to get back into the swing of being comfortable and feeling safe to open up to another woman again, to let her into what I call that heart inner sanctum. Physical intimacy was him letting you into his castle. With emotional connection, it is his heart inner sanctum that we're talking about here. And so many times, if a man is emotionally unavailable, that is one of the main reasons as to why that is. Like I said, there could be several, but many times that is the main reason as to why that is. All these other things will come first, and until he really feels safe, he will kind of keep that distance there when it comes to the emotional part. And so if you said, like you say, Stacy, I have a pattern of attracting unemotional men, or should I say emotionally unavailable men, this is what I would ask you to do. I would ask you to take this as an opportunity to reflect. Take this as an opportunity to reflect and become aware with your own energy. So I would ask you a couple of these questions. I would say, one, are you afraid to open up emotionally? Are you afraid to be vulnerable? Yes, you want to be in a relationship. Yes, you want to have an emotional connection with a man, but do you still have these fears that are rearing their ugly head that keep getting in the way? Are you afraid to be vulnerable because you're afraid of being a doormat and someone taking advantage of you? Do you still have your wall up from a past relationship? Do you still have the pain that you're holding onto from a past relationship that is coloring your view of being in a new relationship? Because, ladies, if you have any of these fears and feelings, that is an indication of why you keep attracting emotionally unavailable men. Now, this is not to cast judgment, it has absolutely nothing to do with judgment. There's nothing between pointing the finger and going, see, it's your fault. Nothing to do with that. It has to do with awareness. And when you have awareness of your own behavior, of things that are going on within your inner world, you then have the power to change it. And when you have the power in your hands, in your heart, to change these fears within yourself, what then happens is you are no longer sending out that emotionally unavailable energy to a man, and you will then be sending out the energy that you are open to receiving love. And when you are open to authentically receiving love, you will then be in alignment to then attract a man that is on the same level and that same vibration as you. So that is how you can shift from attracting emotionally unavailable men to then aligning your energy, shifting your energy so a man can align with your new essence of who you are. All right. And so now let's take a look at what an emotional connection, that emotional connection looks like in a man. Like I said, it's door number one. It's like that final frontier. So in physical intimacy, he shared his friends with you, his social circle with you. And with the emotional connection, he is now sharing his family with you. He is introducing you to his parents or his children, other family members, taking you, wanting to share celebrations with you, whether it be holidays and things of that nature, and including you in that realm, in that area of his life. He also feels safe now to be vulnerable with you, that you are his confidant. He can tell you things that he would not tell other people. I know for me in my personal life, I have had, many men tell me, my God, I am telling you things I've never said anyone. I even had a partner that said, I never even told this to my ex-wife. This is a woman that he was married to for 20 years, and he was telling me things that he never told her. It's because he felt emotionally safe with me, because he knew I would not judge him. I wouldn't criticize him. What I would do is I would hear him, I would listen to him, and I would accept him. Just like you want to be heard, listened to, and accepted, so do men. And that is part of being his confidant, which comes with that emotional connection. What also comes there is he really feels in the heart, in the deep essence of his heart, that he can be so real with you. He can expose himself to you. And so this is what that emotional connection is. And at this point, he feels as if you are the complete package because you stimulate his mind. You have that sensual and that sexual connection, right? He physically is creating room in his life for you, and he's emotionally there with you. So that is the secret to understanding men. That is the man magnet blueprint. Again, it's 4 keys to understanding men. There is the mental stimulation, the intellectual intrigue. There is the sexual. Key number 2 is the sexual attraction, right? There is the sex appeal. So he feels good about himself when he's in your company. Key number 3 is the physical intimacy. Key number 4 is the emotional connection. And so there you have the secret to understanding men to make your relationships a bit juicier, much more yummy, and much more pleasant and harmonious. And so if you want to understand a little bit more or learn a little bit more about my coaching, feel free to go to my website at theblissfullotus.com. If you're looking at this video in YouTube, in the description area below, there is a link that will take you directly to my website. And if you are looking at this video on my website or here on YouTube and you want to have a deeper one-on-one discussion with me about how you can magnify your man magnet and how the blueprint is working in your life, there is a link below for you to complete my man magnet strategy session so we can have that one-on-one conversation to empower you to up level, to empower you to magnify your magnetic appeal to men. All right. So thank you very much for being with me here today in this edition of Juicy Love Expert Corner. And I am Stacey Murphy, the queen of Juicy Love and Feminine Charm. Thank you very much. Namaste. Bye-bye.